I'm going to show you a few really simple oblique exercises that you can do with your clients on the Reformer. I do find them quite accessible and quite scalable, but I'll just go through some of the traditional ways or positions in which to do them, and then we can talk about how to make them a bit easier. So the first one is sidearm preps. We're going to have 1 foot up, just like that. Oh, sorry, wrong way. This foot down, this foot up. So if you want to have the leg right up against the shoulder rests, that's going to give you quite a bit of stability, and then you can lift up the one leg up to here in this half kneeling position. If that's still too precarious, then you can have your client sitting onto 2 knees and have their bum down on their heels, or in between is kind of here. Otherwise, this is generally one of the more challenging positions because we do have a bit of asymmetry in the trunk and a little bit more pelvic floor work here as well. We've got this knee open into external rotation. We're not going to be collapsing down. This hand is going to start with the strap, and I have 1 half spring or 1 medium spring. So this exercise is arm rotation. We're going to reach across the body, allowing a little bit of turn, thinking of spinning through that vertebral column or turning in a stack. And then if you want to, you can go into backhand with rotation. We're going to switch the strap to this hand and then reach and uncurl. So I kind of call this, you know, the Captain Morgan drawing the sword from the scabbard. Or if you're a physio, it looks familiar as one of the diagonal patterns for the upper limb. I don't know which one, P1, P2, help me out here. And if you do find that your client is turning too much, I would just, or sorry, not turning too much, but kind of leaning too much, I would just limit the range just to that diagonal line and then cut out the rotation. We're going to move on to open elbows. So similarly, you can have your client sitting back on their heels or kneeling up nice and tall. We're going to place 1 arm through the strap, hands up like you're reading a book, and then we're going to open wide. So because there's this asymmetrical pull through the upper limbs, you're going to feel a lot of obliques through one side only, a lot of glutes as well for this one. You're going to feel a lot of stability work through the back to make sure that they're not falling backwards. But then at the same time, you've got the core in the front, making sure they're not losing things in an anterior direction. So with the open elbows, you can either do the elbow bent or you can do the the arms long, but you're probably going to have to change the spring weight because it's a long lever. I can only do this one on a 1/4 spring, so, or 1 light spring. Let's demonstrate the other arm just so you can see better. So arms in front. You might have to shorten up the strap a little bit or just grab the rope, whatever's easier, just to get that range. So, oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of obliques. If you want to make this exercise even harder, we're going to scooch back away from the shoulder rests to make sure that they're not cheating by pressing forward and we're not kind of shoving things forward in the socket there. So see what works for you. If you want, you can even go sort of in this long diagonal pattern, make it more Pilates-like, because, you know, Pilates is just so graceful. Aesthetics do matter. So lastly, we're going to go into star prep, one of my favorites. We're going to go back to 1 heavy spring, lose that light spring. We're going to have knees down, sort of stacked. 1 arm is on the shoulder rest, on the foot bar, a little bit forward, hand is down by your side. This one, you're going to try and keep a nice straight neutral line with the spine, including the cervical spine, which is a little bit hard. We're going to press out and then back in. So very simple to stay in that frontal plane. If you want to, you can also add a little bit of a twist. So reaching up and then coming in to turn and then up and then in. So kind of jumping jack and twist and jumping jack and close. So be careful not to let that shoulder kind of travel up towards the ear as time goes on. It can be a little bit tricky, but those are some really great ways to add an intermediate level of oblique work into your treatment.